Captain Stransky!
How is your counterattack?
We are attacking! We are defending! We are counterattacking!
Hey everybody, Derek from Ritterkrieg here, and we have post 120. So it's me and Scobie doing the post with you tonight. So we had a little scare with him. He was really sick, had some seizures, and we're really glad to have him back. So he's going to hang out with me for a little bit. All right, so post 120. This is a big one. This is Le Franc Tireur number 16 is coming out this month, and everything happened so quickly. Kind of knew it was in the background. I didn't know it was coming out this soon, and this is huge. So LFT does pretty much three things. One is they make their magazine, which is LFT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first ones were in French, but then and those are their big magazine products, and in them they have lots of scenarios, lots of articles. So and some that you'll remember was the last one was that one with all the beautiful North African maps, and those are just about sold out. LFT 15. The one before that was themed on the Italians. The one before that was I don't remember if it was the Crimea or the Chinese or the French, and then whichever one wasn't was the one before that and the one before that. So this one is PTO, and you can see it on the screen right here, and this one's really incredible, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it comes with 12 maps, and they're geomorphic, and they're double-sided, and they're all PTO maps, but they are compatible with your I don't want to say most, because I don't know the stats, but I'll venture to say probably most of your PTO scenarios that you already have through other publishers. So the boards are the PTO rendition of your ETO boards, the ones that are used mostly in the PTO scenarios. So we'll take a look at those in a second. But first we start with the art, and it's the classic LFT art that we're used to. So, and here's a bunch of Japanese soldiers walking through a jungle. Okay, so let's take now. I'm going to tell you what we get in here, and I'm going to tell you what we get, and then I'm going to tell the price, and you're not going to believe the price. And you know me, I'm not a salesman. I never try to push anything. But when I heard the price, I was like, you got to be kidding. This is like the way everything has skyrocketed in ASL. This is old pricing. So you get 12 double-sided geomorphic boards. You get 15 scenarios. You get 8 sheets of overlays, and you get an 80-page magazine. And the retail price is, I think it's like 110 euros. I'm doing everything I can to get it here for $120 landed, but I'm going to do the pre-order at 110. So again, 12 boards. Just that. I mean, I don't know how he's doing that, but thank you, Xavier. Those are some incredible price. I mean, lately we've been paying, $30 for 10 scenarios, or $36 for, I mean, prices have just skyrocketed. So thank you, Xavier, for that. I think it's really a steal. I am getting a small quantity of these, the same amount that I got of LFT 15, and those sold out. So now I got a restock from the little bit that Xavier had left. He was really good to send me a few copies. So if you missed out on LFT 15 with their 8 map boards, grab that while I still have them, because I don't think there's any left to send me anymore. So and this will go the same way, especially with all the map boards. So grab it now, especially at the discounted price. So all right, so let's see what we have. So here's a photo of the overlays, and oopsies. So these are your 8 sheets of overlays, and you can see some of the beautiful artwork there. Now, as I told you, it's all PTO, so instead of woods, oh, I didn't even mention the best part of the PTO boards. The reason they're double-sided is on one side you have light jungle, and on the other side you have the exact same map, but it's dense jungle. So you don't have to imagine anymore that it's inherent or that it's not inherent. So that's it. And here you see a little bit of the artwork, and I'll show you some more on the actual boards coming up. Let's go over the articles that are in the magazine. So we've got the foreword. We've got 10 questions to Oliver Gray. I'm sure at least one of them will be about counter storage, and a 12-step program. All right, so for the counter storage, of course. Then we have Japanese tank divisions, mediocre dragon, barnbush, PTO basics. Now this is where it starts getting instructive. LFT map artwork, landing craft charts, Japanese MMC charts, PTO basics part 2, defending in Japanese scenarios. Well, that is one heck of an art all by itself. And then beaches, seaborne assaults, sim ridge, and bibliography. So there's a lot to learn right there. So if you ever wanted to dive into PTO but you haven't, this might be a handy dandy tool. All right, so let's find the boards. So here is an example of the boards, and they're kind of like laying on top of each other. So, but if you can see this real well, you can see this gorgeous artwork of bamboo, of here would be an example of light jungle where it's not inherent. Here would be an example of an inherent jungle, dense jungle. And I am wondering if there's an example of interior hex dense jungle on a light jungle overlay, but I don't see it in this example. So, oh yeah, here it is. So if you look here, this is light jungle, but if you look here, this is dense jungle. This is dense jungle. So, okay, well done. All right, so they are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. There's the kunai and the palm trees instead of the orchards, and the paths. So, and these boards, so 38 will coincide with board 38, 39 with board 39, 62, 67. So you can play these scenarios, the old scenarios with these new boards. Well, that's great. All right. So here is a maybe a better example. Let me zoom in a little bit at the artwork. Okay. So another thing I like is the contours of the hills. So when it goes through jungles or something that obstructs the view, you can tell exactly where the crest line is. That's really good. And then here are the jungles. You see it really does look like jungle. Here's the kunai. Looks very different from grain. Here are the paths. And here are the huts. Look at the huts. That's really cool. So, I don't know if you can see the huts. Let me move this along. Now you can see the huts. So they actually look like straw huts. Isn't that great? I like that a lot. Okay. And yeah, so that's what we got. I don't have any examples of the scenarios. He hasn't given me any of that yet, but there are 15 LFT scenarios, and they should be as good as all LFT scenarios, which are always top notch. Okay, so we saw that. Now, next, we're going to talk about brand new Death to Fascism. Only Death to Fascism is not brand new, but it is to me. I tried. Well, maybe I sent 2 emails. I tried to get Death to Fascism when it first came out, and then Not One Step Back, Death to Fascism Part 2 when that came out, and I had no luck, and I was busy and kind of gave up on it. Well, I worked out a deal with Xavier where we traded some stuff, and so he sent me 12 copies of each. And that's all I have. I don't know if I'm going to get any more. But if you want Death to Fascism, I have them for, I think, 24 bucks a piece. If you grab both of them, you save $2. Well, that can buy you a ketchup pack at Five Guys. So might be worth it to pick up both at the same time. Now, it might be worth it not to save the $2, but just to know that they're not sold out so that you can actually get your hands on them. Now, Death to Fascism, each one has 8 scenarios, and like I know they throw this term around that they're critically acclaimed, but they actually are. Like, they're really, really well received. And I believe I played a couple of them, had a lot of fun. Great designs, but they have I don't think they were the first to do it, but they definitely cashed in on the idea of purchase points to buy your order of battle. So there's a lot of that going on in these scenarios, and they're really good scenarios. So if you're a collector or if you want some really great scenarios, just try to get those before they're gone. All right, that's all we have until we get into the contest. So let's do the contest. So first thing I'm going to say about the contest is I botched contest 118. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I might redo it. I might not redo it. But contest 120 is almost the same as contest 118, except I don't think it's botched. So, and it's a pretty simple contest. So let's take a look at it. So let's go zoom in just a little bit. Oopsies. All right, so let's take a look at this and see what we got. So in this contest, we've got the British have to get 1 tank off the south edge. That's it. It's the last turn of the game. It's the British turn, and all they have to do is get off. That's it. So we have this tank here is double acquired. They're both in motion. They both start in motion, and this tank here is crew exposed. All right, and we have our numbers up here. Smoke dispenser 6, smoke 8, white phosphorus 6. We'll say it's July 44 plus, and that's it. So how do we get 1 tank off the south edge to win? And there's a way to guarantee it. So it's not based on rolls so much. The anti-tank gun, we're going to assume that its first 2 shots, it rolls a 1, therefore keeping rate of fire, and anything it hits, it brews up into a burning wreck. So that's the whole contest. Really simple, really simple. All right, so that's it for that contest. Now let's go to contest 119. Now there's the solution now. I'm going to give you the contest, and then I'm going to give you the solution. Okay, so contest 119. So I really like this contest, but I want to start out with, I made a mistake in it, like usual, and I updated it. So if you want to do this contest, just pause the video here, stop watching, because it's a fun contest, really. So it's a bit of a rules dive, even if you play Knight. So and I'm just learning Knight, and that's why I came up with this. I just happened to find it in the rules, and I said, this will make an interesting contest. So this is the idea. It's the last player turn. It's a Russian turn. They have to take building R1 right here in order to win. So during the advance phase, the Germans moved everybody out to block the Russians. Well, the Russians can't do a human wave attack. They have nothing to shoot with. Oh, and it's a night scenario with an NVR of 2, scattered clouds, and half moon. So the German is pretty sure that they've won the game, okay? Because there is no way to get into R1. Because even if the Russians move up to adjacent to the Germans, they can't get into the hex with the Germans in order to advance into R1. So the Russians are screwed. Well, the contest goes like this. The Russians pull it off and they win. How did they win? Like, how is that possible? And pause it here because I'm about to give the answer. Okay, so if you want to play it, otherwise let's keep going. All right, here we go. So the only way that the Russians can win, the way that they did win, is this. Okay, the only way that it was possible. They rolled a 6 on the colored die of the wind change die roll, and they rolled a 5 or a 6 on the white die. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, whatever it is to decrease the NVR. So, so because it's scattered clouds and a half moon, the NVR goes down by 2 instead of 1. When the NVR becomes a 0, then you are allowed entering a hex with a concealed unit, and you do not get bumped out. So when that happens and the NVR goes down to 0, the Russians, they go and enter into the hex with the 127. Now they can only do it with one group, because they can only do it with one group because the 127 will lose its concealment, and then they're no longer allowed doing it. So whichever one they decide to go in with is their choice. But I'd probably go in with the 628, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they've got a 8 flat shot, an 18 divided by 2 in the advanced fire phase, and they break the 127. The 127 routes away or dies, whatever happens to him, and then they advance into R1 for the win. So that's the only way it could happen. That's how it happened in my imaginary tournament, and so that's the solution to contest number 119. Let's see if we had anything else after that. Oh yeah, let me give you an update on the 2 missing products. So Twilight of the Reich and Winter Offensive 15, I heard from a bird that it should be here by Valentine's Day. So it's going to be a little awkward that you're happier to get something from me than from your sweetheart on Valentine's Day, but let's hope that that's when it does arrive. So we're still waiting. MMP is still shipping their pre-orders, and once they're done with that, then they ship to the retailers like me. So all right, that's it. Thanks for watching post number 120, and like always, have fun out there, and get in touch with me if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks everybody.